looked like a poltergeist case. All our batteries died simultaneously there. 12 different batteries, all fresh, all died at once. She showed us some of the pictures, more UFO related than anything else. She said, tell me, dude, what about seeing when you're out camping and you lose several hours of time with light? Huh? That's where it started with her.
Keep watching to learn more.
Book 4 in the new Thinking Aloud dialogue series is Charles T. Tart, 70 Years of Exploring Consciousness and Parapsychology, now available on Amazon.
New Thinking Aloud is presented by the California Institute for Human Science, a fully accredited university offering distant learning graduate degrees that focus on mind, body, and spirit. The topics that we cover here. We are particularly excited to announce new degrees emphasizing parapsychology and the paranormal. Visit their website at cihs.edu. You can now download all 8 copies of the New Thinking Aloud magazine for free, or order beautiful printed copies. Go to newthinkingaloud.org.
Thinking Aloud. Conversations on the leading edge of knowledge and discovery with psychologist Jeffrey Mishlove.
Hello and welcome. I'm Jeffrey Mishlove. This is the 4th in a series of interviews I conducted with Barry Taff, Dr. Barry Taff, whom I first met in the 1970s when he was a graduate student assistant in the parapsychology laboratory of Dr. Thelma Moss at the Neuropsychiatric Institute at UCLA. Barry has his doctoral degree in psychophysiology with a minor in biomedical engineering. And if you've seen the 3 previous interviews, you know we've talked about a lot of unusual phenomena, poltergeist activity, remote viewing, clairvoyance, and even UFO contacts. This program is going to focus on an assortment of highly strange phenomenon that Barry has personally experienced. I'm talking about apports, disembodied entities, and bilocation. I personally think these phenomena are extremely important because I've experienced some of them myself, as have other guests on the New Thinking Aloud channel. And the unusual thing is that the stranger the phenomenon, the more likely it is for average witnesses and people who hear about these things to put up a resistance and simply say, it's unbelievable, I don't believe it, it's impossible. But these things do, in fact, happen, and they are important clues as to the nature of reality. And now I'll switch over to the interviews conducted at Barry's home in Palm Desert, California.
There was a girl I met named Dottie way back when, called the lab, she came to visit, and she came over, she cooked me dinner. So we're having dinner at a table like we're at now, and so we're eating, and suddenly a flashlight appears on the table. Boom! What? From where? It wasn't there, and it's there. Picked it up.
Did you actually see it appear?
I picked it up and held it.
No, but I mean the moment when it appeared.
Just, like, it's not a mention. Okay, oh, it's there. Boom.
It didn't like drop from the ceiling.
It was just there.
Okay.
And, she freaked out. She said, what happened? I don't know. But where did it come from? I don't know. She goes, don't touch it. Go, it's a flashlight. I picked it up. It had scratches in the lens. Batteries didn't work. I think it worked. And why are you touching it? It's a flashlight. So she freaked out. She said, well, at least I brought a light into your life.
Yeah.
Another time, my friend and I are in the we're in the living room watching TV. I just got a new television. And we hear a clang, like a metal clang, and we jump up and look around and look around. Oh, there's this is odd. My friend, what's this? It's a metal ring with 4 legs, opening in the middle. It's to cook if you're camping out. You put I don't even know what it's called. I've never owned anything like that. He said, you own it now. Here it is. What? We're watching TV months later, a red ball. I don't own a red ball. No, blue ball. Excuse me. Blue ball. Oh, wait, what? It's not mine. I was out of town once. He stayed over because I had some items that were really expensive. I didn't want to be left alone in my place. And he was there with a friend of his, this girl, and he put some earbuds she put down, plays with them. They're gone. She couldn't find them. So I come back, they're gone. I'm walking on the bedroom once. Boom! They hit me in the back. They were thrown at me.
Apports.
Yeah. I told you 3 large bottles of medication disappeared out of my closet in a padded mailer. A pair of shoes disappeared. A suit disappeared. Why has this happened to me now? This is what I would expect when I was young. And the last case I investigated was 10 years ago. And it was great. It looked like a poltergeist case. All our batteries died simultaneously there. 12 different batteries, all fresh, all died at once. She showed us some of the pictures, more UFO related, anything else. She said, tell me, dude, what about seeing when you're out camping and you lose several hours of time with light? Huh? That's where it started with her. And lights and got so bad her son, but we were walking, Jack, working with me, Jack Rourke, myself, Barry Conrad. We were out this case in Pasadena, and it was amazing. We're walking, we turned, because we heard a sound, turned back, and suddenly there was a bunch of objects in front of us that weren't there before. It'd be like you're sitting here at the table, and suddenly, boom, there's no table, and your arms go over to the ground. Just like that. Yeah. And the woman was freaked out by this, and she went to her church. They said, it's all demonic. It's all demonic. They, oh, please. The minute that word comes up, I walk away because it's a dead end. You don't learn anything from that. Anyway, the first thing I ever investigated before the lab was open, when I went there, 1968, Pasadena, elderly couple, their cat had died of old age, and they were still seeing and hearing and going, yeah, right. So I'm interviewing them, talking, then lots of questions, blah, 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 blah. And suddenly something jumps on my lap. I can feel it. I can hear it. It's kneading my thighs, but I couldn't touch it. But this is what we mean. So what am I supposed to believe? Through suggestion, I felt the cat jumped off me onto the couch, and the couch depressed, then it was gone. So they think, what in the hell is that? But as we now know, the old saying that says, if the tree falls in a forest and there's no one there to hear it, does it make a sound? I don't think it doesn't. The neighbor, a man named Dexter Gray, who lived just to the east, a big house like the one we were looking at. He was renovating it when he moved in, leaning against a built-in shelving unit, and it opened up like a bad movie. Goes down the steps, discover, there's a tunnel running under the hill, connecting the homes from Prohibition era. Oh. And he's exploring it, first alone, then with a neighbor and a friend, and they find a headstone in a grave. The name is Regina, 1922. Huh? Somebody was buried there? The house, we were last up there in 2008, and now we had instruments. Let's start with the best to work backwards. We're about to leave after a couple hours, and so I had a big Pelican case. I took my instruments in. And it was very imperfect. We got there. I go to pick it up to put the instruments back in. And on the bottom of the case is carved a backwards R, a lazy R. Wait, the name of the woman down below is in Regina. If in order to carve into the case, you would have needed a chisel and a hammer to start it. It was deeply carved. Well, who did it? And when?
So it certainly is suggestive of the possibility of a discarnate agent.
Yeah. Would it be interesting? Would be if people had seen an apparition there, and they have way back when, if we had a picture of this woman, Regina, and the people saw apparitions, and then you have them describe it, maybe a sketch artist from the police draw it up, basically. You compare that to the photograph of Regina, that would be really interesting. Then what are they seeing?
But I presume you don't even know who Regina actually was.
No, there's no last name, just Regina.
Yeah.
So I assume...
And not even a body, just a tombstone.
Yeah, well, there is a grave down there, but there was a grave site.
But it wasn't exhumed.
No, it's not been exhumed. There have been so many earthquakes since then, and the river's gotten worse. I suspect that a lot of it might have been washed away. Now, one case that almost killed me was in 1970. It was in Inglewood. It was a nice neighborhood back then. And long story short, the people that owned the house had died. And it wasn't publicized. I forgot they died together. Husband and wife named Dampu and Refugio. They were Filipino. And the son was a police officer, the grandson or something like that. And the neighbors were reporting seeing them do their chores, even though they were dead, but they didn't know they were dead. The neighbors didn't know this couple had died, and they saw them mowing the lawn, taking the garbage out, but they'd been dead for weeks. So the son brought us in, and we're there, and we saw something, a bag or something, like a doctor's bag, jump up and zip across the room. Little thing. This was before I met Carrie Gaynor. I was there by myself, and a few people helped me. And at one point, we were trying to make something happen by a bunch of us sitting there, like holding hands, like the old seance stuff. And not much was going on. It was very quiet. We had to have a light source because there was no water power in the house. And there were about 9 or 10 of us that were there. And we stopped because it got boring. Nothing was happening. We could walk around the house. There was still furnishing there, covered in dust except for one display case was kept clean for some reason. So walking around, and I made some comments during the seance that, what if this is all make-believe? What if this isn't real? What if this is like a store, the fish that got away sort of thing? So suddenly there's a man standing there, 5'10", 5'11", stocky, gray hair, wearing a plaid shirt and a pair of khakis, and he jumps me. And he starts trying to swim. He picks me up and he throws me in the bathtub. And he starts ripping apart my shirt. He tried to kill me. So other people there, the guy started beating him. And he fell off me to the floor. And my neck was red and my shirt and jacket were torn. And we see this image of an elderly man go away. What's left on the floor was the grandson who brought us to the house. Now, he was badly injured because what we were hitting hit him. And so we told him what happened. We didn't know who these people were. We didn't know what they looked like. He pulled out a picture of his grandfather and grandmother. What we saw was the grandfather.
So when you say we, there were multiple witnesses.
Yeah, it wasn't just me. So what was that?
Presumably be an instance of possession of some type.
Call it what you may, it sounded more like something spiritual than paranormal. I mean, paranormal, but more of something possession or, I don't know. All I know is I know what we experienced. Now, after that, we tried doing another seance hours later. It was very late, very early in the morning, actually, then. and a candle fell over, started burning the rug. Let's get out of here. It's too. So we closed the place up, and the next day, a couple of days later, the neighbors reported to this grandson there was something left in the house banging in the walls, and they saw lights in there when their place was ripped to shreds, except that one display case. But everything was torn apart, like a madman was there.
And nobody had been there to witness.
No, the neighbors heard things. They'd see lights coming out of the house. There were bangings on the wall, stuff like that. So Leslie was almost, that was almost 50 years ago, more than 50 years, almost 50 years ago. And literally, thank God there were other people there, because whatever this was could have killed me quite easily. And
I gather that this, what seemed like an older man who was attacking you at the time, had incredible strength to throw you across.
Guy was much bigger than me, which doesn't mean a lot because I'm small, but he picked me up like a rag doll. I mean, if someone had far more strength than me, older, maybe late mid-60s.
And the grandson himself, would he have had that kind of strength?
Well, the grandson was smaller, was thinner, wasn't as stocky, but he was a police officer. Uh-huh. But you wouldn't look at him and see like some thin, measly guy. But no, it looked nothing at all like the grandfather, at all. So now this is interesting. The men who came to help me beat the elderly man off me. The women who did not come to help me, they saw the grandson attack me.
So there were multiple witnesses.
Yeah, of each side.
Who were seeing different things.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Now, since then, white families have lived in the house, Asian families lived in the house, black families lived in the house, and Hispanic family. And all of them, we haven't heard from them in quite some time, all of them seem to be plagued by the same types of phenomena. Banging noises, lights, things moving around.
And now you said the neighbors saw the elderly Filipino couple
taking out the garbage.
And did that continue?
No. Now, as far as what's there now, I have no idea. God only knows.
Well, the bottom line seems to be that although these phenomena are suggestive of apparitions, possession, poltergeist agents, if you look carefully, they defy any explanation.
Now, this is interesting. My parents passed away in 2009 and 10. The reason I'm saying this is not because they passed away, because following that, a lot of weird things started happening to me that had never happened before. Before that, I was over their place one night, and we're talking in the living room, and suddenly I hear a bang. Go in the kitchen, and there were some quartz or very thick glass coffee cups. I've never used them, but and apparently something had struck one of them with such force that it turned the glass to silicone. Mm. It wasn't cracked. It wasn't like edges. It was like particleized. Where did that come from?
Like almost a powder?
Yeah, very powdery. Yeah. And glistening. If you put light, it would glisten. And then after my parents passed, my mom in 2009, my father in 2010. So I was in my kitchen one night, and I feel someone coming up behind me, and I hear, my dad had phlegm all the time. And I turn around. Nothing was there. I was at a girlfriend's house in Long Beach or something. And they didn't have convenience stores everywhere like they do now. And all she had to drink was water. I was dying for something more than water. And went to sleep. Come home the next day. My dad, who was an insomniac, slept in the bed, on the couch, and the Barca lounger would move. And he said he saw me come in. He heard me come in. He said, I slammed the door. He said, I went, drank from the pitcher tea, and I left, slammed the door again. My mother heard me slam the door twice in bed. I never came home. What did they see? Doppelganger. Doppelganger, bilocation. When the lab was up and running, there was this one actress was on TV. I knew who she was, but I never met her. Susan Strasberg. Really beautiful brunette. My stereotype. So she was in some talk show, and people that were watching her or listening to her, they asked her who she was dating because she divorced her husband. She said, well, I'm dating Barry from UCLA's parapsychology lab. I'm like, what? I'm dating Susan. I don't know her. I've never met her. What? Makes no sense. No sense. Couldn't figure it out. Time went a couple of years ago, actually 2014, I believe. I want to learn more about why Susan Strasberg knew my name and why she thought we were dating. I spent 2 days online looking. I finally found what made sense. I told you Dr. Moss's best friend was the actress Shelley Winters. Another best friend of Shelley Winters was Susan Strasberg, which probably meant that Susan Strasberg had come to the lab when I wasn't physically there, some morning or night or whatever, and she read Dr. Moss's 2 books that I was in both of them. And in her messed up brain, maybe she was doing drugs, she thought we were dating. I don't know why she,
But one of your jobs in this work is to be able to distinguish between when somebody is having a fantasy of some sort as opposed to an authentic telepathic or a clairvoyant experience.
Yes, but the problem is I didn't understand what the linkage was when she's Susan Strasberg. First of all, how would she know who I am? How would she know I worked at the lab? Doesn't make. I mean, I'd been on INLA twice. I was on 2 in the town. I hit the LA Times. I was in the LA Times in June of 1976.
But even if she knew who you were, why would she say she was dating you?
Mental illness. Maybe she was doing drugs. Now, this is interesting. She met her first husband through Shelley Winters. He was an actor and a singer. So I don't know how well they knew each other, but they knew each other. Then, about 8 years ago, I'm in a Xerox place in West Los Angeles to copy some scripts or business plans. So I'm there, and this really tall guy, about 6'3", hey, Barry, how you doing? I go, hello? Remember me? I go, nope. Told him his name. I go, and he said, I used to date my sister. Who? Who's your sister? And he said, he told me her name. I can't tell you her name because she's still alive. Mm-hmm. I said, never met. We used to date her. Nope. He said, I remember you had a silver Corvette with big black side pipes and diesel glass backs, and it shook the ground like thunder. Yeah, but I never met your sister, nor did I date her. I'm sorry.
You have a double.
Well, no, it gets weirder than that. A couple of weeks later, I'm at Arts Deli in Sherman Oaks having lunch with a friend, and he's sitting across from me as you're doing now. He says, there's a girl that keeps staring at you. Turn around. I see this girl in question. I go, oh, you know her? No. You met her? No. Not going to approach a stranger, especially an actress, and tell her how you're doing. I don't do that. Weeks later, I'm back at the same Xerox shop. There's the brother of this actor. He says, oh, my sister was really pissed because you didn't come over and say hello to her. I don't know your sister. I've never met her. I said, okay, how did I meet your sister? Through Susan. Who? Susan Strasberg. That's it. I got up and left. I can't make any sense out of it. It's the strangeness of it all. It
makes you think that you're intersecting an alternative universe or something.
One of my colleagues thinks there's like a doppelganger with me from a different reality, and they're popping in. I don't remember what they're doing, and they don't remember what I'm doing. But the whole point of this, it's the mental phenomena is great, but when it comes compared to the physical phenomena, the apports, the apparitions, the poltergeist activity, this is a whole nother thing we're entering here.
Because people who were experiencing these sorts of things learned about your laboratory and would contact you.
Oh, yeah, they were coming in all the time. 1973, Carol. We were together, and we met, but she was dating a married man, didn't want to divorce his wife, so our getting together, there was a long period of waiting. So one night I'm going to sleep, this was 1973, on my left side, and suddenly my covers go up, and a body rolls into me. It's female, long hair. I smell perfume. I see an arm come rolling over me. I go, what? Nothing. The phone rings. It's Carol. I just the weirdest dream that I was cuddling with you, and you moved and scared me, and I woke up back in my own bed. Well, part of you got here.
That's what she told you.
That's what I experienced. Now, I used to date William Shatner's niece, a girl named Sharna. Beautiful girl, long time ago. And so we were friends. It didn't really go anywhere because she was a little scared of me. So one night, I wake up, something wakes me up, and I see Sharna to the left of my bed, and we never even slept together. She puts her hand over my head. She goes, it's only me, Barry. It's only me. I went, what? And then she's gone. Well, I was awake. The next morning she called. She goes, what the hell did you do to me? What? Well, I suddenly found myself next to your bed. I thought you were sick. Put my hand in your head and I called your name. And then you moved and scared me. That didn't help her. It freaked her out really bad. Okay.
She called you?
Let's back up with Sharna. I had met her at a party in Brentwood. So we became friends. We were dating, but very superficially. Nothing really intimate had transpired yet. A little frightened of me. Her mother was terrified of me. Her father didn't want anything to do with me. And so long story short, one night I'm sleeping in my bed alone, and suddenly something wakes me up, and I see she's standing next to my bed, and she puts her hand out over my forehead, and she goes, it's only me, Barry. It's only me. I went, what? And then I'm out. She's gone. I get up. I go, what's going on?
Right.
So I went back to sleep, woke up. Later in the morning, it's like 10 a.m. and she calls. What did happen last night? What did you do to me? I go, what? She goes, she had the dream that she was standing next to me, laying in bed, and she touched me, and I woke up and scared her.
Mutual dreaming.
Or telepathic dreaming or something. In the 70s, I met this girl. I can't use her name. She looked like a young Ruta Lee, but with blue eyes. Gorgeous girl. Friend of people I met in the industry. So we became friends. There was a sexual tension. We never went out. She lived with her boyfriend in Malibu. I didn't know the address, whatever. Anyway, unlisted number. So one night I'm having a dream. In the dream, I'm with this girl in a bedroom, and I don't recognize the bedroom. Beautiful wood panel walls, beautiful drapes or curtains, and just great furniture, stunning. This is really, we're in bed, and I'm going, this is, wow, a little too real. And now she's the Lloyd blonde. I wake up and I go, this dream was a little too real. And the phone rings, not a couple hours later. It's the girl, her name was Kelly. And she said, how dare you come over here and rape me? I went, what? I didn't know where you live. What? What are you talking? Well, suddenly you were in bed with me, and we were making love, and then I realized, what are you doing here? Well, how do you know it was me? I saw you. I heard your voice. I described the room to her, perfectly accurate. The furnishings, the colors of the walls, the carpeting, everything was right. Now, she was a blonde. Her boyfriend was a blonde. He was out of town. There was dark hair in the bed. What was the dark hair from? And I never talked to her after. That was it. So what happened? Out of body? Doppelganger? That was a long time ago. And we were friends. This occurred, she'd been up at the Hollywood House once in 1976. This might have been 1977 or 78. The best thing, this was the most amazing, 2015 or 14. Every couple of weeks, I have a cleaning lady come over and clean my place. So she shows up at like 9 in the morning. I'm on the computer, but I haven't showered yet. So I get in the shower, I'm in there, and suddenly I hear banging on the door. Barry. Woman's name was Maria. I get out of the shower, put my robe on. What's the matter? I saw you at the computer. Yeah, no, I saw you now. No, I was there. No, I heard you in the shower, and then I turned into your bedroom, started cleaning the bedroom, and I saw you on your computer in your bedroom right now. I've been in the shower for like 10 minutes.
So we're talking about potentially bilocation or the projection of an apparition.
Yeah. But she said, yeah, I saw you and I called you and you never responded. You just kept typing. So what was that?
Book 4 in the new Thinking Aloud dialogue series is Charles T. Tart, 70 Years of Exploring Consciousness and Parapsychology, now available on Amazon.
New Thinking Aloud is presented by the California Institute for Human Science, a fully accredited university offering distant learning graduate degrees that focus on mind, body, and spirit. The topics that we cover here. We are particularly excited to announce new degrees emphasizing parapsychology and the paranormal. Visit their website at cihs.edu. You can now download all 8 copies of the New Thinking Aloud magazine for free or order beautiful printed copies. Go to newthinkingaloud.org.